Hello, I want to show you one of our favorite learning to read books that we use. It is called The Reading Lesson by Michael Levin and Charan Langton. And I have a son who was not diagnosed until after he was 6 with a vision issue that has affected his reading. I'll do another video about the vision issues at some point. And until he finished vision therapy after 8 years old, he saw double, which makes it pretty much impossible to learn to read. So we're kind of getting a late start with learning to read. And we tried a lot of different phonics programs, reading programs, and he would kind of fumble his way through, but nothing was really clicking until we found this book. So it's great for beginning readers of an average age, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, and also for older struggling readers. So one thing we liked about it for older readers is that there's no age or grade listed, and it doesn't feel like it's for little kids, which can be a problem for older struggling readers, that they think things are for babies. So it starts out introducing just some letter sounds, and it feels a little simple at first, and which I was worried about, but he never got bored with it. And the simple exercises really do build on each other, and it does end up making sense. So as boring as it seems when you start, don't worry, it's that way for a reason. So one thing that we love about it is B's and D's. If your child, like many kids, mixes up their B's and D's, this has a really neat way of dealing with it. And here's where it's introduced, the D's and the B's. And when they print them in the words, there is, hopefully you can see this, oh, here's a good shot, a circle inside of the round part of the B. So it sort of trains them to recognize the difference between the B and the D. And the more they see it, the more they start recognizing the difference. And they do that with a lot of different letter sounds too. Letter sounds, vowel sounds, and letter combinations. So I have some marked here just to show you that when you get to the long E's, they're marked. And when you get to A, which is the ah sound like in ball, that has a circle over it. There's the long I will have the open dot on top, and the long A sounds have a little caret on top. So that's just a few of them, but those, what I've noticed is when he gets used to seeing those, it really carries over into his other reading, in that I think his brain just gets used to seeing it, and just that repetition helps him to remember what those letter sounds are. And another interesting thing that I like is the font size. It starts off in the beginning, like you can see, pretty large font size. And then as you go on, the font size begins to shrink. That's a lot smaller. And then when you get toward the back here, you're getting a lot smaller. So that's been helpful too, just starting big, less letters on the page, it's not as overwhelming. And there's really nothing that I dislike about this book. The only complaint from my son is that he says there needs to be more stories and the stories need to be longer, but that's a very recent complaint now that he's reading a lot better, so it's not really a problem. But I told him to come up with something that seemed like he didn't like about it, and that's all I could come up with. We do about 4 pages a day, and that's just what works for us. He's 9 years old, so just the number of pages would be dependent on what your child does. Just go with your kid, see what, how they like it and how they're moving forward, and just go with that. And I just really highly recommend this book. I really wish we'd have found it earlier. I'm thankful we did find it at all. So again, The Reading Lesson, teach your child to read in 20 easy lessons. The 20 lessons are chapters, so you're not going to get through a lesson a day. So again, I'll put a link in the description below so that you can find it and learn more about it. And thank you for watching, and leave me a comment. Thanks. Bye.